The rapper XXXTentacion has been shot, apparently targeted while shopping for a motorcycle. On the ambush and murder of a 20-year-old rapper in Broward County, it appears two men were trying to rob him.
The rapper, who went by the name XXXTentacion, is dead following a shooting in Florida.
The death knell of XXXTentacion. In one of Florida's rough neighborhood, a boy was born who would shake the world, not with strength or politics, but with his voice. His name was Jose Dwayne Onfroy, but the world knew him as XXXTentacion. He grew up with eyes that had seen pain and a voice that screamed both rage and love. An unstable home, a turbulent family, a school that cast him out. But music was the only place he was heard, without judgment, without violence. From his teenage years, Jose became familiar with loneliness. In the darkness of his room with a cheap microphone, he created sounds that seemed to come from the depth of his soul. He poured his anger and sorrow into the beats, his mental struggles, his depression, even his longing to be loved. He screamed them in his songs, in tracks like Jocelyn Flores and Sad. He wasn't just crying out, he was confessing, weeping, and shaking millions of hearts. But his life never got easier. Fame, judgment, enemies, a dark past that kept chasing him. He fought it all. Sometimes he lost, sometimes he regretted, but he changed, he grew, he wanted to be an inspiration. And just when his future seemed bright, when he had come back from death to life, a gunshot silenced everything. No voices that rise from darkness do not die. Jose Tentacion is still alive in headphones of generations, with every beat that plays, with every tears that falls down a cheek. He left, but he did not disappear. On June 19, 2018, the Florida sky was hot as always, but something was different that day. Jose Onfroy, aka XXXTentacion, was leaving a motorcycle dealership in Deerfield Beach. Alone, no security, sitting in his black BMW, sunglasses on, headphones in. What was he listening to? No one knows. Maybe one of his unreleased tracks, maybe a silent beat he was going to write his pain on. But a dark car pulled over slowly in front of him. Two men got out, their faces were covered. Without warning, one of them pulled a gun. Gunshots 3 times, and silence. Jose slumped over in his seat, motionless. No screams, no pleas. They took the money box he had with him and fled. Everything happened in less than a minute, but that 1 minute changed the history of the music forever. The truth behind the story: that day Jose really was buying a motorcycle alone. 4 people were involved in the armed robbery and his murder. Security cameras captured their faces and police arrested them as soon as after. But for millions of fans, one question still remains: why? Was it just money? Jealousy? Or maybe, as he once said in an interview, some people are afraid of those who turn their pain into art. The end of the story? No, Tentacion's death wasn't an end, it was a beginning for millions of voices and still singing his songs, poeting his words and drawing inspiration from him. He died, but he became eternal. He was a powerful figure in rap, a boy who sang from his soul and whose pain still echoes in every beat. But no one truly knows, is he alive or dead? He vanished and left, and now the question is a new conspiracy in the way? The existential meaning of XXXTentacion, Jose Dwayne Onfroy, was more than just a rapper. He became a symbol of a wounded yet awakened generation. The concept of XXXTentacion, the voice of wounds, shadows, and light. XXXTentacion wasn't just an artist, he became a symbol of contradiction, the conflict between darkness and light. Tentacion was full of contrast, a person with a violent past who spoke of peace, someone who screamed with rage in songs, yet wrote trembling verses about love, God, and life. He saw himself as a shadow battling light, and in his music, he constantly shifted between the two. The voice of the depressed and lonely generation, he became the spokesperson for teenagers and young people who felt worthless, depressed, and anxious, and heard those who didn't feel heard by the world. Tentacion spoke openly about mental illness, suicide, and the scars he had seen and inflicted. A transforming philosophy. In his final years, he became deeply interested in spirituality, energy, karma, and personal growth. In one of his live videos, he said, "If I'm going to die or ever be a sacrifice, I want to make sure that my life made at least 5 million kids happy." An artist who shouted truth, not image. He never tried to portray himself as perfect. He showed his flaws, he didn't hide his mistakes, because he believed being real is more important than being liked. In one sentence, Tentacion message was this: turn pain into art so others can build hope from it. And this video, it appears on the screen, don't miss it. Nikocado Avocado, Death by Food.